Hello, Photoshop family. Just thought I'd take a quick stab at this. I just grabbed this astronaut off the internet. Anyways, for that particular composition, we've got what looks like a planet or something right here, and it's emitting a large glow. It's because of the scale, it's quite a bit behind our astronaut, so I don't know how much light effect you actually want to show on the astronaut. And then we've got what looks like Earth, and that might be scaled back and even further away. And I would really think that Earth is not going to affect the lighting on this astronaut. So here's probably what I would do. I split this astronaut into the backpack versus the actual astronaut, right? So here's the backpack. There's the backpack removed. Should be removed. See here. Oh, I forgot to split the two. We'll just control select this and then delete that off the astronaut itself. So that should be it. Now if we turn off that backpack, there we go. All right, so the first thing I would do is I'd probably group the two together and then apply a couple filters to them. So group these two. Now I've got one entire group here. I'm going to deselect, and then I'm going to apply a curves adjustment layer. And I'll probably make a long curve. I'll probably bring down this white to get some hot spotting on the left-hand side here, and then just do this kind of a long curve where we're bringing down the right side of that astronaut, making him a little bit darker. He's out in space. I feel like that's a little bit more appropriate. Something like that. You know, mess around with it. You can double click for your layer styles and get a little blend if in here. And maybe we won't affect, we'll only affect the absolute whites here. Break this up, just kind of play around with this slider, get it to where I think it needs to be. Of course, this is it's not deconstructive, so we can mess with this at a later time. I might approach the backpack a little bit different than the rest of the guy here. But for now, let's just leave this curves adjustment layer. Then I can colorize if I wanted to. So hue saturation layer, use this colorize, get into that red channel, maybe pump that saturation up. All I'm looking at is the whites here, because the next thing I would probably do is throw another layer style in here and make sure that I'm only affecting those highs. There we go, that left side. Hold my Alt to bring this back down and kind of play around with this. Of course, we can mask out things as we need to as well. So this is getting closer to what I think should probably happen in this scene. We're getting a little too much red up at the top here. Of course, we can mask out these adjustment layers. Wanted to add a mask to these, and then kind of brush out the middle of this guy. Right? Look what happens. How that pulls that out. Isn't that funny? I just want to mask out on the colorize. And what this will do for me is that if I want to come in here after the fact and maybe do a camera raw at this point, so then I can bring this back into the drawing after the camera raw and start detailing out some things. Let me just group this whole stack now, and I'll do a layer style. Maybe you want to do an inner shadow, and you can throw your inner shadow so that it's affecting the left-hand side. And that opacity up, you see how we just got kind of a little bit of a glow here. Turn that size down. Mess with the distance just a little bit if you'd like to. Mess with a little bit of the choke. Might need to mask out a few things. Get this to play right with you. Something like that. Then I might just stamp this and do a camera raw. And in camera raw, I might want to bring the temperature down those blues, so the right hand side are shadows, or I can just go into our color grading and bring out my highlights into that red, my shadows into that blue. And then you could either mess with blending if you'd like to, mess with your balance a little bit. Now this is looking pretty good. Set this against that backdrop, and I think it would work out pretty well. So just a couple quick little edits there to get you halfway there. And then of course, because we have that astronaut set apart from the rest, we could have saved that color grading tip and gone through, but my group one, I can go through here and just control click my astronaut layer, right? Means back in my stamp layer, I can come in here and do a little highlight. So I could add in an exposure layer, pump that exposure up, and you can see it's masked. Convert that mask. Then the backpack's just a little bit overexposed, and then brush it out on that mask. So a couple little tricks there to get this astronaut kind of prepped for that particular composition. Anyways, hope that helps.